So in this video, I wanted to just go over the story of my first ultra white collar boxing match and how I won in 1 minute. And I was also very new to boxing. I had only had a few months of training prior. I started boxing that year at the university boxing club, and then I found out about ultra white collar boxing because I was actually working at one of the events, funnily enough. I was working at one of the events and I saw, how cool it looked, and I asked one of the fighters, "Whoa, how can I be here? How can I take part?" And he told me it's free. It's free training. You just need to do a fight at the end, but it's 8 weeks of free training. So I thought, oh my god, I need to do this. So I signed up whilst I was on shift, and then a few months later I was in the ring and I won. Within my first round. And I think this is actually quite an important story because it will tell you a lot about this sort of event and the sort of fights you'll expect. If you are going to fight in ultra white collar boxing, this story can help give you an idea of what to expect from these sorts of fights. So I found out who I was fighting a week before the fight, and I'd never seen him fight before, so I had no idea what to expect. But I was very scared. I was terrified. I was so terrified. And then fight day comes along, and we're in the locker rooms together. Literally in the same locker rooms together, and I think that would be the case for you as well. You're always going to be in the same locker rooms together, and I do go over just a bit more about what to expect in your fight night in my preparation system. But so we were in the locker rooms together, and I remember trying to make conversation with this guy, because it's always a bit awkward, you don't know how to really look at each other when you know who you're fighting. So I went up to him, or he went up to me. To be honest, I don't remember now. It was quite a few years ago, but somehow we ended up talking, and we just spoke about video games. We got along really well, which was weird. It was weird because we knew that within an hour we'd be in a ring punching each other. And he told me one thing. He told me that he is a bleeder. He said, "Yeah, by the way, I'm a bleeder." And I didn't really take it in then and there because I was so nervous. But anyway, he said he was a bleeder. And then, it gets to the fight before our fight, so we're lining up, we're getting ready, the coach is checking we have everything. We've got, checking we've got our groin guards. I actually forgot a groin guard. I couldn't believe it. I forgot my groin guard. I also forgot a water bottle, and I forgot a towel. I forgot a groin guard, a water bottle, and a towel, which you need. Yeah, I forgot them. Somehow the coach let me go through anyway. I actually spoke to my opponent. I said, "Yeah, man, I don't have a groin guard. Please be honourable. Please don't take advantage of that." And luckily, he was very nice, and he didn't take advantage of that. Anyway, so okay, the moment comes along. They announce. Did he go out first? I think he went out first. I don't remember fully, but yeah, I think he went out first. They announce his name, he walks out, my family is all booing him, and then they announce my name, I come out, my family and friends are cheering. It's the most epic experience of my life. Yeah, I barely remember the walkout, which I'm sure you won't remember either because it's so blurry, from all the adrenaline and the nerves. So I get in the ring, I'm looking at the dude, and then the bells go off, and we fight. Right from the get-go, he's more aggressive. I remember he lands the first few punches on me, boom, boom, and these hits feel harder than any punch in sparring has ever felt. And I think, okay, it's real now. This is real. Oh my God, we're actually fighting. Okay, so at the moment, I'm just trying to survive. By the way, I would also like to say that at this point in time, I was quite low level in boxing, and so was he. Because we were matched well, so we were both low level. Okay, we were both very new to the sport, which is what the majority of you are going to be, very low level. So your technique is going to be all over the place. So yeah, I remember the beginning, I was just trying to survive. He was hitting me, I was backing up. And then I started to come back at him. I started to punch him. I started to punch him in the face. I started to land. I remember distinctly landing a 1-2-3, which I was so proud of because, again, I was very new to the sport. And I'll just tell you guys, to land anything more than just a jab in a row in this event is kind of difficult. You know, in your training, you're going to learn, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combos. Realistically, you're just going to land one at a time, maybe 2, maximum 3. And I think that's a good strategy, to jump in, punch, maybe punch twice, and then jump out and back and forth, instead of going crazy and then gas out and then you're going to get hit. So I remember throwing a 1-2-3 combo, which I felt really proud of. And then all of a sudden, he had blood coming out of his nose. And I remember sort of acknowledging it, but not really acknowledging it because, the fight night nerves and everything, it was all a bit blurry. But I remember thinking, oh, the dude's bloody. Yeah, this has just gotten real. And by the way, this feels like forever. I at the moment, I feel like I've been in the ring for like 5 whole minutes. So he's bleeding. I land a few more hits, and then the referee, separates us. And I think, okay, I got through round 1. Whew, good. And then I see that because there were 2 rings, I see that in the other ring they're still fighting. And I thought, oh, that's weird. Oh, the doctor's just checking the guy because he's bleeding. And then when I looked back, when I reflected on the fight, he was starting to breathe heavy. He was bleeding all over the place. All of a sudden, I looked at my body and I had his blood all over me. I didn't even realize during the fight, but the second we stopped, I looked at myself. I was covered in his blood. And then the referee waves it off. The doctors come in, they take him out, and he goes out on his own. I don't remember exactly how it went, but the doctors said to the referee to stop the fight. And that was it. I'd won. And the other fight was still going on. So all of that had happened in the space of 1 minute. All of that had happened in less time than it's taken me to explain this to you. Yet it felt like forever. And thank the heavens it did end so quickly, because my mouth was so dry and I didn't have any water. And I was also, by the way, extremely tired already. I was extremely tired. But I beat him. And the reason why I wanted to tell you this story is because I beat him within the first round. I made him bleed enough to make the doctors nervous, and they wanted to be cautious and they wanted to stop the fight. Yet that said, I was not skilled enough to actually do that on purpose. The reason I won was because of lucky hits. Most of these fights, the fighters don't have enough technical ability to land these good hits. They don't have enough experience to knock someone out. So when an opponent hits someone hard in a way to end the fight, it's usually due to 2 things. It's usually down to the opponent being too exhausted to defend themselves, or it's down to just some very lucky hits. Or a bonus is it's down to the opponent being a bleeder, which I remembered after he said he was a bleeder. I thought, oh my, he did warn me he was a bleeder. He really was a bleeder. So anyway, my point is, landing these fight-ending shots are luck reliant in ultra white collar boxing. So that's how I won. I won in 1 minute, sort of just by luck. And I knew that it was just luck. I knew that it was just luck. So I was actually not satisfied with myself. I thought, oh, I just won by luck. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to prove to myself that I could get through one of these fights without luck, just through my own fighting ability. And I also noticed how gassed I was after just one round, which is why I decided to sign up for a second fight. And I decided to train very differently, and I built myself a system to not focus on boxing, because I realized very quickly that boxing takes a lot more time to learn than 8 weeks or a few months. So I built myself a system which focuses on fight energy, fight preparation, just fighting, adopting the rules of boxing, but just a system that would help me become a fighter. And I ended up putting that into a system. I've got the workbook right here, and if you want it, you can click the link below. But I created this system for myself, and I thought, okay, I'm signing up for a second fight, and I'm going to follow this new system. And guess what happened? I ended up fighting against someone who was a far better boxer than me. A far better boxer than me. Technically way more skilled. And in round 1, I thought, I'm doomed. But guess what happened? We went the distance, and my hand was raised. So, if you want to know about how I won my second fight, not in 1 minute, in the full, the fight went the full distance, click this video, and I'll go over how I won, how I actually beat a better boxer.